Start.
Yes, thanks a lot and good morning to all of you. Well, to continue on the statistics that were just presented, let me highlight just one figure, which is the average success rate of Latvian candidates, applicants to Horizon 2020. It's more than 14% success rate, which is quite above the average success rate in the EU of 12%. It means that you have excellent candidates, and if more of you present their applications, you can certainly improve your overall participation in Horizon Europe. So I can only encourage you to bank on that excellent base that you have in Latvia in order to participate more in Horizon Europe. Now, let me say a few words about Horizon Europe. The real launch is now, basically. At the end of April, the Parliament voted in favor of adopting Horizon Europe's program, overwhelmingly 677 votes in favor and only 5 against, which underlines also the very strong support that we have for research and innovation across Europe. It was the same on the side of member states. You know that the budget of Horizon Europe is increasing by 30% compared to Horizon 2020 in constant budgetary terms. This is enormous. And this underlines the consensus we have in Europe that even in the current budget constraints that we have, it is very important to invest in research and innovation if we want to address the overall challenges we are facing, be it the green transition, the digital transition, the sanitary crisis, our economic competitiveness in the future. They all depend on us being at the forefront of research and innovation, and this is well understood across Europe. So the legal basis for Horizon Europe entered into force on the 12th of May, but we have already adopted the strategic plan for Horizon Europe's first half term in March, and the first work programs. We have adopted a few months ago the work programs for the European Research Council, for the European Innovation Council, a first COVID-19 variants specific research work program at the end of March. And just a few days ago, on the 15th, on Tuesday, we adopted in the Commission the main work program for Horizon Europe 2021-2022, which means that the first calls will be open as from the 22nd of June next week. We will have information days at the end of the month and beginning of next month. So this is the real rollout of Horizon Europe. What I would like to do this morning is to present to you Horizon Europe in a nutshell. First, it's structured based on 3 pillars, which you know probably relatively well because it's an evolution, not a revolution. It's very similar to Horizon 2020 itself. And then I will insist on the novelties. Jean-Éric Paquet underlined the European Innovation Council. I will also mention the missions and also the strategic approach that is quite novel in Horizon Europe. So first, on the structure of the program, we have 3 pillars and the transversal part. The first pillar is excellent science. It will support creativity, researchers at the forefront of science and technological frontiers. It includes the Marie Skłodowska-Curie actions for the circulation of brains in Europe and the initial and lifelong training of our researchers. It includes also the European Research Council, and you heard the call of Jean-Éric Paquet for Latvians to present applications there as well. The research infrastructure actions will also in this pillar ensure that the academic and industry will have access to a set of state-of-the-art scientific equipment and services. So with pillar 1, we really want to support the best minds across the world and promote Europe as an attractive place for all researchers to come here to study and research. Pillar 2 is the global challenges and industrial competitiveness. It includes 6 clusters from health to digital industry space, climate, energy, mobility, agriculture, food, environment, culture, creativity, inclusive society, and civil security. And pillar 3 is Innovative Europe. It's the European Innovation Council in particular to support innovators in breakthrough research and innovation fields and supports the European innovation ecosystems. So you have Pillar 1 for fundamental research, Pillar 3 for innovation, and Pillar 2, which is the bulk of the research and innovation program for collaborative research across themes and thematic areas. And last but not least, we have a transversal pillar that cuts across the program and covers widening actions and European research area to support a number of activities to attract and retain talents across Europe and facilitate the circulation of brains across the Union. Latvia is participating across the activities of Horizon. We heard the statistics, and we are there also to support you to do more to raise awareness on the opportunities that Horizon Europe will propose, including to new actors such as SMEs, local authorities, and citizens. With the good success rate I've mentioned, I'm sure we are starting on very good footing to see an improvement of your participation in the program. Now let me focus on the three main novelties I would like to highlight. The first one being the missions. This is based on the Apollo 11 mission of the 60s when in 61, Kennedy said that the Americans would send a man on the moon before the end of the decade and bring him back safely to Earth. This was a time-bound, ambitious, aspirational objective that inspired a generation of Americans and beyond, and that was able to mobilize energies across research and innovation fields and well beyond to achieve this objective. So this is what we are looking for with European missions. They will be rooted in research and innovation, but they will go well beyond research and innovation, and they will meet aspirations of our citizens. And for that, they were developed with citizens themselves, not by just consulting them as we do usually, but by really sitting together with them as we've done across Europe with almost a blank sheet of paper to identify what areas, what missions would meet their aspirations and how we would achieve those objectives. So the 5 missions that have been identified are in the field of climate adaptation with the objective to work with 200 communities in Europe to create up to 150 climate resilient demonstration projects. There will be a mission in the field of oceans, seas, and coastal and continental water. Another one in the field of cancer, and we heard this morning how this could be interesting for Latvia, with the objective to save more than 3 million lives by 2030 by working on the whole chain, of course, research and innovation, but also disease prevention, palliative care, accompanying patients for all age groups and types of cancer. So there is no silver bullet to fight cancer. We need to really address the whole range of instruments that we have. Smart and carbon neutral cities is the 4th mission, to establish 100 climate neutral European cities by 2030, which is ambitious. And the 5th one is on soil health and food, with the objective to ensure that by 2030, again, a time-bound and clear objective, 75% of the soils in member states are healthy. These missions are concrete. They have time-limited objectives. They meet the aspirations of Europeans. They can have a very concrete impact on us creating a greener Europe, a healthier Europe, and they can only be accomplished if we can mobilize the energies of researchers, of innovators, and well beyond at European, national, and local levels. This is something we are currently studying in the Commission. We have implementation plans for those 5 missions, and we will see if we can launch their implementation full-fledged already this autumn. The second novelty I wanted to highlight is the European Innovation Council, where we are doubling the budget compared to the pilot phase in Horizon 2020 to support the startups and then their scale up where they are developing creative and breakthrough innovations at European level. And the third element or novelty I wanted to highlight is the strategic approach we have in Horizon Europe compared to the predecessors. We want a program that is much more plugged into delivering impact for our overarching objectives: a climate neutral Europe by 2050, a digitally enabled Europe, a competitive Europe, and a resilient Europe. And to do that, we have developed for the first time key strategic orientations that are starting, that looked at those overarching political objectives. And so what is the orientation we want to give to our research program and to the funding allocation in order to contribute most to these objectives? So we identified 4 key strategic orientations that are laid out in the strategic plan, and it's about promoting an open strategic autonomy by developing key digital enabling and emerging technologies, restoring Europe's ecosystems and biodiversity, making Europe the first digitally enabled circular, climate neutral and sustainable economy, and creating a more resilient, inclusive and democratic European society. And with those orientations trickling down, we have identified expected impacts for the program and concrete actions that are now embedded in the work program that has been just adopted for Horizon Europe's first 2 years. So in conclusion, what I would like to say is that Horizon Europe is happening, and it's happening now. Latvia is well placed to benefit from it. We want it to have the maximum possible impact on our society, our citizens, and our overarching European objectives. And it is really critical that the green and digital transitions are achieved with and for all European citizens in an inclusive manner. And that's the way we want all of us, all of you, to participate in the program. Thanks a lot for your attention.